Today, I'm going to create the strongest pirate crew in the history of One Piece. But first, the strongest pirate crew ever needs the absolute best pirate ship. And I know you all probably thought about the Thousand Sunny, right? I mean, the Straw Hat's ship has it all. Like Kuda Burst, which rockets the ship into the sky for epic escapes, the Gaon Cannon, a giant energy beam that fires straight from the lion's mouth and blasts enemies to pieces, and so much more. Plus, let's not forget that it's built from atom wood, the strongest and most legendary wood in the world, which only one other ship in the world has been built on, Rogers Oro Jackson. However, a ship that's actually even better than the Sunny is Thriller Bark. Yeah, this thing is absolutely massive. It's literally the largest pirate ship in the world, as it's actually an entire island that was turned into a pirate ship. And with gigantic outer walls, Thriller Bark is basically a floating fortress, and big enough to house thousands of crew members. Still, the best ship possible is actually pretty obvious. It's of course Pluton. Not only is Pluton known as the world's worst battleship, it's also one of the 3 ancient weapons. And this huge warship can blow up entire islands with just a single shot, and it's said that whoever controls Pluton could conquer the whole world. Alright, we've now got our insanely overpowered ship, so let's start building our crew. And first up, we need someone to navigate this warship, and who better than the Straw Hat's navigator, Nami. She is an absolute genius when it comes to navigation, and she can read and predict weather patterns with crazy accuracy, dodge deadly storms, and guide the Sunny through the wildest conditions. Like, remember how she literally saved the whole crew with her quick thinking and skills during the knock-up stream on the way to Skypiea. On top of that, she's also an exceptionally skilled cartographer. Plus, with Zeus by her side together with her weather smarts, she can fry just about anyone with her thunder attacks. So although she might not be the strongest overall, her navigation skills are so good she has to be the navigator of the strongest ever pirate crew. Now, I know you probably thought I was going to pick Zoro, as he would literally be able to take the crew to Laugh Tale within like 1 episode. Yeah, he's always lost, but that's because he always goes in the direction of the One Piece. Still, he's not as skilled on the seas as Nami, so I couldn't pick him. Anyway, now that we've got our navigator, let's pick our cook. And there are some seriously skilled chefs in the series, like Lucky Roo from the Red-Haired Pirates, who's not only a good cook, but also got insane hockey and zero hesitation to pull the trigger on his enemies. Then there's Zeph, the legendary chef and owner of the Barati, and the former captain of the Cook Pirates. Yup, the Cook Pirates, and he's considered one of the greatest chefs in the world. Oh, and don't forget Luffy. I mean, he loves to cook, and whatever he makes is to die for. Yeah, literally. But let's be real, the obvious choice for cook is Sanji. He's a literal culinary genius, as he can whip up any kind of delicious dish with insane speed and precision, especially with his crazy knife skills. And although this guy is a full-time chain smoker, he's got the best sense of smell in the series. Like, he figured out every single ingredient in Big Mom's wedding cake just by smelling it. Oh, and he's so skilled he can make a full-course meal out of literal scraps like tuna bones and veggie peels. On top of all that, he mastered the legendary attack cuisine from Kamabaka Kingdom, which are meals that power up your body. But don't forget, Sanji's not just the best chef, he's also crazy strong. With top-tier armament and observation haki and his awakened genetic enhancements, Sanji became a literal tank. And when he turns on the heat and uses his Ifrit Jinbe, he's able to take down characters like Queen, an all-star of the Beast Pirates. So Sanji's the obvious choice for the crew's cook, but what about the ship's doctor? Well, Chopper is one of the best doctors in the world, as his medical knowledge is just insane. He can treat the most brutal injuries, craft advanced medicine on the fly, and even created his own power-boosting drug, the Rumble Ball. And remember when he cured all the poison minks on Zou? Impressive, right? Well, that's nothing compared to what he pulled off at Onigashima, as while half frozen by Queen's Ice Oni virus, Chopper literally whipped up a counter-virus in the middle of battle. So, did I pick Chopper as the crew's doctor? Nope. Because there's actually another doctor that I just had to choose, and that's the Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar D. Law. As we're building the strongest crew possible, Law was a no-brainer, as he's not just a great doctor, he's also insanely strong. Like, he's been able to hold off a Yonko crew all by himself. But okay, back to his medical genius, because that's what he is, a genius. He literally saved his own life by removing the incurable amber lead poisoning from his body using his own skills and the powers of the Ope Ope no Mi. And that fruit, combined with his insane medical knowledge, lets him perform perfect bloodless surgeries, extract poison, reattach organs, you name it. And let's not forget that Luffy and Jinbe are only alive today because Law operated on them at the same time after they were nearly killed at Marineford. Oh, and he even removed Caesar's toxic drug out of the Punk Hazard kids, something that even Chopper was amazed by. So yeah, Law is the crew's doctor, but now we need some vibes on the crew, and that means we need a musician. Now sure, Queen really brings the vibes with his flashy singing and dancing, but Brook, yeah, he's a literal rock star. Like when the Soul King performed, his fans either cried their eyes out or literally fainted. He is just that good. Plus, he's a very skilled swordsman with ice powers, who uses his speed and precision to take down his enemies. Still, this rock star isn't this crew's musician, because that spot belongs to the world's greatest idol, Uta. Uta's voice is on a whole other level, like even Brook admitted he can't compete with her, and her singing is actually described as otherworldly. And well, that description truly fits. As with her Uta Uta no Mi Devil Fruit, she can trap people's consciousness in a dreamlike world called Uta World, where she's basically a god and can do whatever she wants. So she's basically broken, and that's why she's the clear choice for musician. But moving on, it's time to pick someone who can actually get us to Laugh Tale. And for that, we need an archaeologist. And I know who you're thinking of, Nico Robin. She's a straight-up genius when it comes to history, ancient civilizations, and most importantly, poneglyphs. And right now, she's literally one of the only known people in the world who can read them, which makes her absolutely essential for finding the One Piece. And on top of reading ancient stones, she's of course also really strong, as together with her devil fruit powers, she snaps necks and backs like it's nothing. And when she busts out her Demonio Fleur form, she's terrifying. But when we're talking pure archaeologist skills, there's no one better than Clue D. Clover. Yup, Clover from Ohara was not only the head of the Tree of Knowledge, but he was also part of the D Clan. And through years of adventuring and insane dedication to uncovering the past, Clover had an unmatched understanding of history, especially when it comes to the Void Century, as he was the one who uncovered the existence of the Great Kingdom. However, Clover isn't taking the archaeologist spot on this crew because the perfect mix of ancient knowledge and raw strength is none other than Kozuki Oden. Oden could both read and write poneglyphs, so when it comes to deciphering the ancient texts, he's the best. Oh, and he's also literally already been to Laugh Tale, so he knows the truth behind the world's biggest secrets. And combine that with his insane strength, like his swordsmanship combined with his insane haki is so powerful, he actually left a permanent scar on Kaido, something no one else had ever done before. So, the crew's archaeologist has to be Oden, and having added Oden to the crew, let's keep stacking the crew with firepower and add our sniper. I know a lot of you guys are screaming for Usopp, but sorry, he's just way too weak. And although Sogeking would be a great option, he's clearly too busy with important Sogeking things at Sniper Island. So instead, let's talk about Usopp, the sniper of the red-haired pirates, who's a master of observation haki, and his sharpshooting skills are next level. Like it's said that Usopp has never missed a shot, and Usopp himself claims that he can shoot off the antennae of an ant at 100 feet away without harming the rest of it. And oh, we've also seen him blow up entire ships with just a single shot. Still, Van Augur is the obvious choice for sniper. Why? Well, this guy is one of the best snipers in the entire world, and with his rifle Senriku, Augur can hit targets from absolutely insane distances. Like, remember when he sniped a seagull from Jaya while the Straw Hats couldn't even see the island yet? Yeah, Nami literally said it was impossible for any sniper to pull that off, so his eyesight is just inhuman. But what really takes Augur beyond any other sniper is his Warp Fruit, which lets him teleport around the battlefield, meaning he can instantly reposition, escape close-range danger, or set up the perfect shot. And since he can also teleport others with him, it's perfect for team attacks. Having talked about snipers, there's another super important role this crew needs: a lookout. You know, the person posted at the top of the ship, scanning the horizon and calling out any incoming threats. And the perfect guy for that job is Enel. With the Rumble Fruit and his absolutely broken observation haki, Enel could both hear and see everything that happened at the entire island of Skypiea, which is why he just popped up and zapped people around the island. So as a lookout, he detects ships or enemies from super far away, and boom, he creates a thundercloud and zaps them. And if he doesn't feel like frying them himself, he could just tell Van Augur the exact location, and bam, they're getting sniped from across the sea. So yeah, literally no one will be able to get close, Enel will just sense them and zap them. But hey, what if someone actually does get close and damages the ship? Well, that's why we need a shipwright. And everyone's favorite shipwright is Franky. He was the apprentice of the legendary shipwright Tom. He built the Thousand Sunny, although with help, of course. And he is just an insanely good shipwright and carpenter. Like remember at Thriller Bark when he somehow built stairs in midair, and when it comes to battle, he's a cyborg tank, so between his crazy gadgets, powerful punches, and radical beam, he is super strong. However, we also gotta mention Vegapunk, or, well, Lilith, because she's actually even better than Franky at building robots. Yeah, seriously, look at Franky's General Franky. Now here's Lilith's Vega Force 01, a giant mech that can move underwater and unleashes explosions when it punches. And since Lilith shares Vegapunk's insane brain power, she can build just about anything. Laser cannons, force fields, you name it. So, who am I choosing? Well, I gotta go with Lilith. Alright, now we need someone behind the wheel to steer the ship, so let's pick our helmsman. And the obvious choice here is Shiki the Golden Lion. This guy was the original helmsman of the infamous Rocks Pirates, and he is insanely strong. When he had his own crew, Shiki tore through the seas and was considered Roger's greatest rival. So he's insanely strong, wicked smart, and has a strong devil fruit that lets him fly and make things levitate. On top of that, he's a skilled swordsman, and let's not forget, he was the first person to ever escape Impel Down, and he did it all by himself. I know Jinbe is another super skilled helmsman, and being a fishman, he's got a natural connection with the sea. And when he was steering the Thousand Sunny, Nami even said it felt like he was controlling the ship like it was an extension of his own body. Still, he's nowhere near Shiki's level of strength. But I want to add even more power to the crew, and every legendary pirate crew needs a top-tier swordsman. Look, I love Zoro just as much as you guys, but let's be real, we've got to pick Mihawk here. He is the world's strongest swordsman for a reason, as his skills with a blade, more specifically, his supreme grade black blade Yoru, are unmatched. I know we still haven't even seen Mihawk go all out yet, but when he does, combining that raw swordsmanship with his insane armament and observation haki, he's gonna break the internet. And thanks to those signature Hawkeyes, he could easily follow Luffy's Gear 2 movements and land precise hits like it was nothing. So he is clearly the absolute strongest swordsman and one of the strongest guys in the series. Alright, we've only got 2 positions left to fill on our overpowered crew, and let's start with the Vice Captain. Now there are so many Vice Captains to choose from, like Ben Beckman, Marco, Rayleigh, Killer, Zoro, yeah, I can go on. But the strongest, most legendary Vice Captain ever, it's gotta be Edward Newgate, aka Whitebeard. Yup, if you didn't know, Whitebeard was actually the Vice Captain of the Rocks Pirates, the strongest and most dangerous pirate crew in history. And honestly, do I even need to explain why he's the perfect Vice Captain? Whitebeard deeply cares about his crew, he's loyal, protective, kind, and did I mention that he's one of the strongest guys in history? Not only did he have insane observation, armament, and conqueror's haki with the Tremor fruit, he could tilt entire oceans and literally shake the planet. Like Sengoku even said, Whitebeard had the power to destroy the world. So that's obviously someone you want as your vice captain. And that brings us to the final and most important spot on the crew, the captain. And the obvious first character that comes to mind is Gold D. Roger, right? I mean, the man was literally the king of the pirates, so he's got to be the captain of this crew, right? Well, no. Then there's other heavy hitters, like Shanks, Kaido, and even Rox D. Zebek, the captain of the Rocks Pirates, the most terrifying pirate crew ever. And don't forget, it literally took both Garp and Roger to take him down. But not even Rox is the captain of this crew, because the only one fit to be this crew's captain is Luffy. Wait, just hear me out. I know Luffy isn't the strongest guy in the series, well, not yet anyway, but with the Hido no Mi model Nika fruit that once belonged to Joy Boy, and having awakened Gear 5, also known as the most ridiculous power in the world, Luffy is sure to become the strongest guy in the world, eventually. But it's not just about strength that makes him the pick for captain, it's how he brings people together, how he inspires loyalty, love, and respect from everyone around him. Like even Mihawk said that Luffy's greatest ability is gaining allies everywhere he goes. He literally even called it the most dangerous power in the world. And let's not forget, Luffy would die for his crew. So yeah, picking a captain for the strongest crew in One Piece history, it's gotta be Luffy. Now, you probably thought we were done. Nope! There is one extra character that this crew needs, and that character is Panda Man. Yeah, Panda Man is everywhere, and no crew is totally complete without Panda Man somewhere in the background. Do you agree that this is the strongest pirate crew in the history of One Piece? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and watch this video next.